Well, we'll take this one first, and it absolutely feels fantastic, to be honest with you. Like, I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing me saying it, like, but there were times during the course of the year where, you know, we were really under the cosh, and in some matches the games could have gone against us. And in the round robin in Munster, you know, there was a huge challenge brought our way, and you know, we kept battling away. We found a way to win those games, or to get a draw, or, you know, to get something out of them. And once I think we got out of Munster, it gave us that opportunity then to go back and do a little bit of work, get a bit of freshness into us. And I think we got stronger from all those games really as we went on. And once we got our breather after the Munster Championship, we were able to push on from there.
What was it like lifting the Lee McCarthy Cup there in the Hogan stand? You gave us a bit of a dance.
I did. It was. Listen, you know, I really wanted this for the lads. I really, really wanted this for the lads, because they have been an incredible bunch. They work so hard together. There's never ever a night of training where these boys don't deliver everything that they have in the tank. And I just felt I wanted this for them. I really, really wanted them to achieve this one. And you never know when you're going to get the chances again. You'll never get a chance like that anyway, for certain. But I think Kilkenny then brought a huge challenge to us that first 25 minutes. Their intensity levels were through the roof. Everywhere we had the ball, there was 3 of them tackling us, 4 of them tackling us. We turned over ball, they created scoring chances, they took their scoring chances. You know, they got a great goal. The first goal in the first half was really well taken. So we were struggling on their puck out, we were struggling on our puck out. I could go on. Like, it wasn't a pretty picture at that stage. They were 1-9 to 6 points up. There was a 6-point gap, and you know, with a breeze at their back, you know, they could easily have gone another couple of scores up. But we managed to respond at that stage in many different ways. Our intensity went up ourselves. We were getting to the tackle. We were making proper tackles. We were getting numbers to the ball. You know, we had 2, 3 and 4 guys there. We were beginning to turn them over. And we were efficient, is what I would say, in that last 10 minutes. What chances we got, we converted. Down through the middle, we carried the ball really well, we linked the ball really well. They were the pieces we were struggling with in the first 20 minutes, and we were getting turned over in that area. And of course, when you get turned over in the middle, it's a score straight away. But we were retaining that ball. Keane was linking it, David Reilly was linking it, Tom Morrissey was linking it, Garrod was linking it, you know, Dara Donovan was linking it, and Peter Casey came and linked it, and we got great scores there, and we managed to close the gap to 2 then just before half time. And with the breeze that was there, you know, that was a solid performance, if it was ropey for the first 25 or so minutes of it. And we regrouped at half time. Paul did a super job in reorganising the lads, and I think, you know, themselves, even when I spoke to them initially, their feedback was very honest and very much on the point. They knew exactly where they were struggling, they knew exactly what they needed to do. And you know, we've been very strong third quarter all year, really, really strong, and today was the day we absolutely needed to be strong. And I think the first 2 plays, we created 2 scoring chances. We didn't score them, but it was an indicator for what was to come. And once we started to get the ball ticking over the bar, you know, we got a good rhythm going, we got into flow. They got a great goal again, and we responded really well at that stage as well. They got the next point, but we got the next, I think, 4 after that. So that was a really, really important piece as well. But once we got our noses in front and the lads came off the bench, I think we saw out the game very, very well.
When did you know that Declan Hannon was out?
It was probably, what, let me see, last Saturday, I'd say. Yeah. Last Saturday.
Obviously you told the team then, you just started to prepare.
Yeah, we told the team then, yeah. And yeah, that's the way it is. You know, we had Richie as well, with Jimmy Quilty, you know, 2 ACLs as well. So, you know, we had a bit of a difficult weekend last weekend. It was very disappointing for the lads, you know. They've given a huge amount to the group, and they're defenders, and they're all defenders. Like, we were down 5 defenders coming into today's game, so that's a huge chunk of your panel to be missing in that department. So, listen, all credit to the lads the way they responded. Yeah.
John, just in that moment, I was, you know, before the break, Keely Lynch was involved, directly involved before the last 4 points of scored. I mean, how influential was he today in that?
Yeah, I'm delighted for Keane. You know, to fill Declan Hannon's shoes is no mean feat, you know. And I thought Keane has been a really great vice captain with Declan, if you like. The two of them work extremely well together, off the pitch and on the pitch. But off the pitch as captains, they do an awful lot of work behind the scenes. They really do look after the group. They're very much in tune with the group. They're really, really, on point. If you need to find out what's going on in the group, they're the two boys that you will get the information from. But it's still difficult for Keane coming out of the season that he's had, not being able to be involved for much of the season because of injury and trying to get him right, and himself struggling with that and finding it difficult. And then to play in the semi-final was a huge piece for him. Having the 4 weeks to come into it and get ready for it was massive for him. And I think he just stepped up, Keane just stepped up. And even in the train this morning, coming up, the way he was getting around to all the tables on the train and meeting all the lads, he just led it, and he was very comfortable in leading it. And that's a really special piece for us to have at our disposal, when Declan was out. So I'm thrilled for Keane. I was so thrilled to see him lift the Lee McCarthy Cup. I think he's a really phenomenal player. He's a great leader, and I was so thrilled to see him up there and to see Declan up there with him as well. It just was good.
You've had some great waves of play from your team, 2021 Munster, that first ball in 2021 Park and Queen, and that was the first half here in 2021. Where do you compare that second half?
Listen, it was a phenomenal second half. There's no two ways about it. I think we dominated apart from the goal. The goal was probably against the run of play, but it was still a good goal, and it brought the game back in and closed it again, and it made it difficult for us, So, but the response was good. Even if we didn't get the next score, it was still good just immediately after that. We've had a really strong third quarter, as I said, all season, and it's amazing the way you take confidence from that. And we deliberately played into the hill today to take on that breeze in the first half. We wanted to face that onslaught. We wanted to absorb it. We wanted to feel it. We wanted to fight it and take it on. And it was difficult. It was very difficult. But the prize was, to be able to take on those shots in the second half. There was some incredible scores taken. And even with the breeze, even with the distance, they were still fantastic scores, that the lads picked off. Peter Casey.
Do you think winning the toss and making that decision was crucial?
Listen, I don't know what it would have turned out like otherwise. I can't say, but it was the way we wanted it to be. Yeah.
John, is that a sign of the maturity and experience of your team that you want that challenge in the first half? It's not like a final, a lot of teams want
Listen, we've done it a good few times, and we've good reference points where we've had to face similar situations, and we're just comfortable in that space. The lads are comfortable in that space, so that's
comfortable in the onslaught.
Yeah. There's nothing more that they're facing there than what they're facing in the training, or at least there shouldn't be. So they have to cope with it, and it took them a long time to learn how to cope with it, but they got there eventually.
John, was a poignant moment there at the end, and you have to kind of repay Declan for last year. Lots always said
Yeah, I knew if we had that opportunity that was what was going to happen. I didn't even have to ask. That's going to happen. Of course it is. Yeah, if Keane could have had the 36 players, 7 players up there, he would have had him up there. That's the way Keane is. But yeah, it was a nice moment. Disappointing for Declan, obviously.
John, I mentioned 5 in a row.
Oh, come on, Matt. Matt, come on. Enjoy this one now, Matt. Come on, will you? For God's sake.
You referenced earlier the battle you had to get out of Munster. When you consider all those games, I think we're 5 down against Galway, 6 down here today. Is this as satisfying as any of the ones that have gone before? The number of challenges that were put in front of you.
Listen, I would hope that our body language at the end would tell you how much we were thrilled with the result, and we really do put a lot of effort into trying to live in the here and now. And if you don't in sport, you'll take your eye off the ball. So we haven't really had any engagement in reflection. And we've had too much on our plate, quite frankly, all along to deal with. You know, take last Saturday, for example. You know, you get 2 cruciate ligament injuries, and your captain is definitely ruled out on top of what you had already. You know, like, you don't get ahead of yourself in those circumstances. You just try to drive forward. You try to depend on your values that you have as a group, your work ethic, your honesty, your trust, you know, the togetherness that's there as a group that has been referenced. Those are the things you go to. You don't go to looking at the record that's gone ahead of you or what you've achieved or anybody else's. You just concentrate on that, and you rely on that as a foundation that you can go at this thing from.
Could you just clarify, when you referenced earlier the 2 cruciate injuries on Saturday, like 8 days ago?
Well, they were diagnosed on the I think it was actually, jeez, my head isn't going right now. It was either Tuesday or Saturday. I think it was the Tuesday.
Just Tuesday last or the previous?
Previous Tuesday.
So was that Richie? No?
Richie English, yeah, and Jimmy Quilty, yeah.
And?
Jimmy Quilty.
Right.
Yeah.
So on top of everything else you've had thrown at you this year, like,
John, you had your head in your hands just before Deegan's goal. It's almost as if you felt something was going to happen.
Whose goal?
Deegan's goal, Paddy Deegan's goal.
Oh yeah, I could see what was happening. I could see it. I was behind it. I could see it. I knew what was going to happen, and the ground was so solid today. You know, all credit to the groundsman. The pitch was solid, like it was. There was a bounce off the ground, but with the wet surface, keepers had no chance when the ball went low today. You just couldn't, because the ball was actually accelerating out of the bounce into the net. So once he got it, I knew if he hit it low, it was, you know,